Hunter's Moon for 2011.
Welcome to Stargazers. I'm James Albury, director of the Kika Silva Pla Planetarium in Gainesville, Florida.
And I'm Dean Regas, outreach astronomer from the Cincinnati Observatory. We're both here to help you know what you're looking at when you go out to your backyard and look up. Let's go.
Get outside and look east any night next week, about 2 hours or so after sunset. The first thing you're likely to see is a big, bright moon. If you don't see the moon, just wait a while. If the clouds are cooperating, the moon will be putting in an appearance. You'll also see a bright point of light low on the horizon, and that is the giant planet Jupiter. Tuesday night, October 11th, the full moon will be very special. No, it won't be the harvest moon. That was in September this year. What's special about it is that this Hunter's full moon will be the most distant full moon of the year. This means it will appear to be about 12% smaller than the largest full moon, which occurred on March 19th this past spring.
Since you don't have that March full moon sitting by this one to compare, the difference isn't obvious. All full moons look about the same to the naked eye. Now, the reason the moon's distance changes is that the moon's orbit around the Earth is not a perfect circle. And next Tuesday, the full moon will be about 31,000 miles farther away than when it was the full moon in March. The moon's average distance is about 240,000 miles from Earth. But next week, the moon will be over 252,000 miles away, while back in March, it was only about 221,000 miles away. That's a difference of over 30,000 miles.
The full moon looks awfully bright, and it keeps us from seeing most of the stars, but it's not really that bright at all. The sun is almost 400,000 times brighter than the full moon. Our eyes have an amazing ability to accommodate great ranges of light. The moon shines only because it reflects light from the sun, and it's not even very good at that. The moon reflects only about 7% of the sunlight reaching it. That's about the same as charcoal. Jupiter, on the other hand, reflects about half of the light reaching it from the sun. And even with the bright moon in the sky nearby, Jupiter will be quite easy to spot in the eastern sky next week. Now, the moon will move from one night to the next. Here it is on the 10th, then the 11th, the night of the full moon, then the 12th, the 13th closest to Jupiter, the 14th, and so on. So the best nights for using the moon to identify Jupiter will be Wednesday, the 12th, and Thursday, the 13th.
Another weird thing about the moon is that it's much brighter at full moon than you might expect. Although the moon looks half lit up at first and last quarter, the moon is not half as bright at the quarters as it is at full moon. At quarter moon, the moon is less than 10% as bright. The moon reaches half brightness about 2.5 days before full moon. This happens because the moon is not a smooth, uniform ball. The moon is very rough on its surface, so there are lots of shadows which interfere with the reflection of sunlight heading our way.
So let's recap all of this moon info. We can see the moon only because it reflects light from the sun. The moon does not shine on its own.
The moon's orbit around the Earth is not a perfect circle, so sometimes the full moon is close and sometimes it's far away. Next week, it'll be the farthest full moon of the year. When the full moon is close, it appears larger and brighter. When the full moon is far away, it appears to be smaller and dimmer. Next week's full moon will be over 30,000 miles farther than the closest full moon this year, which happened in March.
The moon's brightening and dimming is not smooth and symmetrical. The full moon is more than 10 times as bright as the half-lit quarter moon. The moon only gets to be half as bright as a full moon when it's about 2.5 days on either side of the full moon. This is also true of the last quarter moon.
So think about all this moon madness as you keep looking up.